a hard win. We had a thought process early in the week that we were just going to try everything we could to get it in the fourth quarter. And didn't know if we could, but that was part of our style in the first half. Defense really hung in there, and we didn't try to take a lot of risk early because last week we did. Kind of burn us, a little bit, so we're a little closer in the second half, got a little bit more aggressive. Didn't manage a few things well, but the kids played hard. It was a good win, proud of them. A lot of things to improve on. It was good for our team. We've been in those games, and we just talked all week about trying to play as hard as we could and take it down the stretch, playing hard, and just look at the end, see if it'd be enough. And like I said, we're lucky enough it was tonight. A lot of respect for Michigan State, Mark and his team. And so, because you don't beat that team if you're not playing kind of okay in all three areas, because they're a prideful program, great players, and great tradition. And so that was a good team win for us. We ran it pretty good down the stretch. We stopped some of their run a little bit better. We had a couple sacks on the quarterbacks and things that helped us. So a good win. Happy for the team.
I guess just you had a lot of these kinds of games last year where, I think there were 3 one-possession games at home against ranked teams, but just from I don't know if it's a morale standpoint or just a reward for these guys, what does it mean to kind of walk into a locker room after getting one over the line?
Again, what comes first, the confidence of the winning. The more confident you are, the more you win. The more you win, the more confident you are. Also can't take things for granted. But we talked a lot more this week about not winning games. We just talked about really got real simple about the process of taking care of your body and prepping hard and believing in yourself, and then taking each play and making each play a one-play play and then stack them up. So we for the most part, weren't as fast on offense tonight. We tried to slow down a little bit, not be as frantic. And like I said, our defense gave up a few things but played well. So we didn't talk a lot about the outcome before the game. We talked about the preparation, and then we talked about how to go play the game, trying to get it in the fourth quarter. And we felt in years past, we got to those games and we didn't think anything was wrong except the other team played a little bit harder and better. So we just asked our guys to. We didn't talk about making plays. I think we said word for word, if you try to make a play, you're not going to. If you just play hard, the plays will come. And like I say, defensively, those sacks that got them into that's probably as good a thing that happened to us all night as those sacks that got them into that long yardage situation.
Coach, after all the costly penalties in the first half, you went the entire second half in overtime without another penalty. How were you able to clean that up after halftime?
We did talk to our guys at halftime about we were playing as a team, and we had some guys we had the same guy holding call, almost similar to the week before. We had the same guy jump off sides, and that needed to stop. So, but it's credit to the kids. I did think early those calls were kind of a lot going one way, but whatever. They happen. The law of averages, the world's average, and it evens out. And at the end of the game, there's a call that they call a guy for leaping. And I think it shows the credit of our we're the score. Everybody complains when you don't get calls. You always get jacked up. I think human element referees are a part of our game. And typically we're short. We're always pointing fingers and blaming people. There was a call tonight at the end. That was a good call. And that's the kind of referees we have in our league and the kind of people. Like I said, fortunate for us, it gives us a chance to win the game. But you don't know, you're still going to play. We're going to go double overtime if they don't call it because we missed the field goal there, right? So, anyway, I didn't know we had no penalties. That's good.
You mentioned the 2 sacks, but to that point you hadn't had a sack. Do you think that they were just worn down, or?
Don't know. All we kept on was playing hard. So maybe at the end we played hard enough that, Nate came off and Doc came off and got some pressure on the cue. Difference in the game. Because it's a pretty even game. And our ability to fortunately get a field goal that barely went through versus theirs that did.
Did you say anything to Elks before that last kick?
No, all we talked about was on third down, we had a bad snap, we're going to fall on it, and we'd kick it again. And, and I said, did we have to take, did I take the timeout, or was that the one before? We took a timeout there, right, because about running out of time. Was that it? No, that was the first one. The same thing happened last week. We'll go up there and it's like we're numb to the 25-second clock. We actually had to take a timeout, which allowed them to get lined up and get a block on us. So, anyway.
This is Indiana's first one over ranked big teams, I think it's 2006. What does this mean for your program to become a marquee winner in the season like this?
I don't know. I think we've been, I don't know if it's stats, right, because they never put on the Big Ten Network, but I think we're the only Big Ten team that's ever beat a ranked SEC team on the road. I think, in the history of the conference. Now, they never put that on the network because it's played on the SEC network. So we gotta watch all those reruns of all the other games, but it's in the history of the conference. So I think we've had some nice wins and we've been close. So I don't think our guys have felt like they didn't belong. So it's a pretty calm look. They're excited about winning, but it wasn't like, I just think they were late at the end of the game, that we played as hard as we could, and we made a couple plays at the end to finish. Because that's all we talked about. Can we get in the fourth quarter and just play hard and see if it's good enough? And tonight it was.
What does this say about Rich? I mean, he throws the early interception. Obviously, he had the week last week that he did just to kind of collect himself and really kind of the second half. And I think particularly that fourth quarter, the way that he.
It was good. Took a shot on the one play, too. Touchdowns. We had to shoot the one play we scored on. Diamont drew up. Then we said, Coach, we need to do this. You know, and I even credit him after the game because I've seen some teams where guys aren't playing, get disengaged to have. Xander had his best week of practice. And Ricky's touchdown was Xander's play. He said, Coach, why don't we consider doing this? Matter of fact, he brought it up and interrupted our video session today because he wanted to talk about it one more time. And I had to kind of blow him up. I go, hey, because as soon as he started talking, I said, you just want to talk about your play that we called poker, as a matter of fact. And so anyway, but that was good for Richard. I did have to yell him before his touchdown reception because he was getting a little out of whack like last week. But he's growing. Tonight, the surrounding players and coaches did better for him. And he benefited from everybody else.
Kevin, what made you decide to do that poker play at that moment?
No.
Because you got
I don't know. We had a couple good ones tonight. We missed a couple. I thought early, because we were so conservative in the first half, because we didn't want to let it get away. So we're kind of playing close to the vest. And early that one drive was going, I thought because we ran it, I thought Natik could pop that little pass on. And I went for it on fourth down, but I thought the defense would stop him. And even though that didn't work, hey, you should have kicked it. Well, you see the way we're kicking field goals. I don't know if that's a guarantee right now. And the thing that bummed me is the defense got to stop, and the offense got the ball right back in scoring position and did nothing. And actually gave them the ball in good field position. That was the only issue I had in our whole game of anything that happened, was we made an aggressive deal. We counted on our defense. They came through, and the offense didn't ante back up.
Two more questions.
Had Poker and Andy in the same deal.
So Xander drew up Ricky's
I'm not even
touchdown, not Richard's catch.
Excuse- no.
Xander drew up Ricky's touchdown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like a little, we run the ball play, and he said, hey, why don't we try to do a little double move off of that?
So who drew up the Mitchell's toss? That's the one-
We've had that in.
Okay.
That's just, yeah.
Coach, was there any thought about taking the ball on offense?
Matter of fact, that was actually something that I said on the first drive I was doing, I said, no, we're gonna need it later, save it. You know what I mean, because, you can only go to the well so many times. I'm sorry, Sam.
Was there any thought of taking the ball on offense in overtime
No.
just to give your defense a rest?
No. Matter of fact, because I was mad at the TV guys because they took a break because I brought Marcus Oliver up because he was gonna be the guy telling them what to do. And he's sitting there totally, worn out. But there was enough break with the TV deal. The deal is, even though they're worn out, you know what to do as an offense, no matter what happens. And so, it's 4-down territory, so you gotta go for it 4 downs. It's field goal wins, or you need a field goal to tie. I mean, it just changed us, so that's a no-brainer.
One more question.
How about Tyler and T? Just how he played.
Yeah, he got a slight knee that held him out a couple weeks in the preseason, so just kind of get back. And I tell you, you want his big tail in there, because big old load. He's pushing, upper 270s. But when the game's on, you got a freshman, his first real deal, so it's like, okay, you're sitting there, but my thing was like, hey, I was just gonna trust your gut. There's some things that happened last week, kind of got my attention about, hey, just quit worrying and let our guys go play, put together a good plan, quit worrying about the defense. Last week, when it's a 12-point game, we had talked, if we don't do something real fast, we'll plenty called timeouts. But mathematically, odds are, if I'd have went for it on 3rd and 4th down, we had a greater chance of winning. Now, the deal is your defense going to stop them. And I shared it with the defense. Hey, I didn't know if it was the old D or the new D. And I told them tonight I was going to play like the new D. That's why I went for it on 4th and 2 early. Most people say it's like, hey, I'm going to try to score touchdowns because you need touchdowns in a game like this. And I thought our defense could get stops. I told the kids at halftime, it's the first time since I've been here, we were playing as a team. And that was a very good team win. Appreciate you being here.